The food industry is massive, and it plays an integral role in our daily lives. With billions of dollars in revenue, food companies supply us with the meals and snacks that we consume every day. But beneath the surface of these delicious foods and beverages lies a darker truth. In the pursuit of profit, many companies put their customers' health and well-being at risk, and they do so with alarming success. From misleading labels to hidden ingredients, the food industry has deceived consumers in ways you may not even realize. In this video, we'll expose 12 gross facts the food industry doesn't want you to know. 1. Natural flavors might not be natural. When you pick up a product with the words natural flavors on the label, it's easy to assume that it's made from healthy, real ingredients, like fruits or spices. However, this term is a broad category that covers a vast range of substances, and many of them have little or nothing to do with the natural flavors you expect. In fact, natural flavors can come from a variety of sources, including animal parts and chemical processes. For example, some flavors used in food are derived from beavers' anal glands, a substance called castoreum. This secretion is used in vanilla and raspberry flavorings. While castoreum is considered safe for consumption by the FDA, it's not exactly what most people would expect when they see natural flavors on a label. The food industry doesn't have to disclose the exact source of these flavors, meaning you could be eating something completely different from what you imagined. 2. Your fruit juice might be old. We've all enjoyed a cold glass of orange or apple juice, thinking it's fresh and full of vitamins. But what you may not know is that juice can sit in storage for months, or even up to a year before it's packaged and sold. The process is called flash pasteurization, where juice is heated to high temperatures to kill harmful bacteria and extend its shelf life. During the storage period, the juice can lose its original flavor, which is why many companies use a process called de-aeration to remove oxygen. While this helps with preservation, it also strips the juice of its natural flavor. To make it taste fresh again, companies add artificial flavors and sometimes even colorants. So, the fresh juice in your fridge could be far from what you thought it was. 3. Meat glue holds some cuts together. If you've ever been curious about how certain cuts of meat look so uniform and perfectly shaped, the answer might lie in a substance called transglutaminase, also known as meat glue. This enzyme is used by the food industry to bind together smaller pieces of meat, such as trimmings from different cuts, and create the appearance of a solid piece of meat. While it's considered safe by regulatory agencies, it's not exactly a pleasant thought that your steak or chicken could have been glued together from scraps. The enzyme can be found in various processed meats, including sausages, hamburgers, and even in some deli products. Many consumers would likely be alarmed to know that their meat might not come from one solid cut, but rather, it could be a combination of smaller, leftover pieces bound together to make a more appealing product. 4. Parmesan cheese may contain wood pulp. Parmesan cheese is a staple in many households, sprinkled over pasta, pizza, and other dishes. But next time you reach for that grated Parmesan in a bottle, you might want to double-check the label. Many pre-grated Parmesan cheeses contain cellulose, a commonly used anti-clumping agent. And cellulose, believe it or not, is often made from wood pulp. While wood pulp is technically safe to eat and is often used in other foods like ice cream and bread, it's not what most people expect to be in their cheese. In some cases, the amount of cellulose used can be as high as 8%, which means you might be eating a mix of wood and cheese instead of pure Parmesan. There have even been lawsuits against manufacturers for exaggerating the percentage of real cheese in their products. 5. Free range isn't always what it seems. If you're buying eggs or chicken labeled as free range, you may think that the animals were allowed to roam freely outdoors, enjoying open spaces and a more natural life. However, the truth is often much less idyllic. The term free range simply means that the animals have access to the outdoors, but it doesn't specify how much time they actually spend outside. In many cases, free-range animals are kept in overcrowded barns with just a small door leading to a tiny outdoor area. These animals may never actually leave the barn or have a chance to roam freely. In fact, the conditions can be so cramped and unhealthy that many animals are deprived of basic needs. So, while the label may sound like a humane and natural option, it's often not what consumers expect. 6. Ice cream contains beaver gland. Secretions, ice cream is a beloved treat, especially during the summer months, but you might want to think twice before indulging in some vanilla, strawberry, or raspberry-flavored ice cream. These flavors are sometimes made using castoreum, a substance obtained from the glands of beavers. While it may sound gross, castoreum has been used in food production for centuries as a flavoring agent. Although castoreum is considered a natural flavor and is approved by the FDA, It's no longer commonly used due to the availability of artificial flavoring options. Still, the fact that this beaver secretion can legally be used in food products without being specifically named on the label is unsettling. 7. Sugar-free products often contain hidden sweeteners. Many consumers opt for sugar-free products, thinking they're making a healthier choice. But the reality is that many of these products contain artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and acesulfame potassium. While these sweeteners are low in calories, they can have side effects for some people, including headaches, digestive issues, and mood swings. Moreover, research has suggested that artificial sweeteners can actually increase cravings for sugary foods, making it harder to resist unhealthy foods. Some studies also show that consuming large amounts of artificial sweeteners may even contribute to weight gain. So, while sugar-free options seem like a healthy alternative, they can come with their own set of problems. 8. Carmine coloring comes from bugs. Bright red foods like candy, yogurt, and some beverages often contain carmine, a natural red dye made from crushed cochineal insects. The insects are harvested, dried, and then ground into a powder to create the color. While carmine is considered safe by the FDA, the thought of eating insect-derived products can be unsettling for many people. Despite its widespread use in food products, carmine is rarely mentioned on labels, with manufacturers often using terms like natural color or color added without clarifying the source. This lack of transparency means that consumers could be unknowingly consuming insect parts when they think they're eating something harmless. 9. Pre-washed salad isn't always clean. Bagged salads and pre-washed greens have become a go-to convenience for busy consumers. After all, who has time to wash and prepare fresh vegetables every day? But the reality is that even pre-washed salad mixes can still contain harmful bacteria like E. coli and salmonella. While washing helps reduce the risk of contamination, it doesn't completely eliminate the possibility of foodborne illness. In fact, pre-washed salads have been linked to several outbreaks of food poisoning in the past. Some studies have shown that even multiple washes don't guarantee the complete removal of harmful bacteria. So, it's always a good idea to wash your greens at home, even if they come labeled as ready to eat. 10. Bread contains hair or feathers. Bread is a staple in many homes, but some loaves contain an ingredient called L-cysteine, which is used to improve dough texture. L-cysteine is an amino acid that helps dough become more pliable and easier to work with. While synthetic versions of L-cysteine exist, many bakeries and food manufacturers still use the animal-derived form, which can come from various sources such as human hair, duck feathers, or hog hair. This might come as a surprise to many consumers, as the idea of eating bread made with animal byproducts, especially hair or feathers, is not widely known. Although the FDA considers L-cysteine safe for consumption, its origins may make some people uncomfortable. The use of such ingredients raises questions about food transparency and the ethical considerations of sourcing additives. 11. Organic doesn't always mean pesticide-free. Many consumers choose organic products because they believe they're free from harmful chemicals, like pesticides and synthetic fertilizers. However, organic farming still allows the use of certain pesticides, as long as they're derived from natural sources. These natural pesticides can still have harmful effects on the environment, and in some cases, may not be as safe as consumers expect. While organic foods generally contain fewer synthetic chemicals than conventional products, they're not always completely pesticide-free. So, if you're choosing organic produce to avoid pesticides, it's important to know that it's not a guarantee. 12. Canned foods might contain BPA, bisphenol A. BPA is a chemical commonly found in the lining of canned foods, where it serves to prevent corrosion and maintain freshness. Unfortunately, BPA has been linked to several health concerns, including hormone disruption, reproductive problems, and a higher risk of certain cancers. While many manufacturers have started using BPA-free cans, it remains present in many products. BPA can leach into food, particularly if the can is damaged or exposed to high heat. As a result, consumers might unknowingly ingest harmful chemicals, posing potential long-term health risks. It's important to stay informed about which products contain BPA and consider alternatives when possible. Why these lies persist? The food industry knows how to sell products to consumers, often using deceptive marketing tactics to make their products seem healthier or more natural than they actually are. By relying on buzzwords like organic, natural, and fresh, companies can mask the true contents of their products and sell them as healthier alternatives. Without stricter regulations and more transparency, these misleading practices will continue. How to protect yourself? While it's impossible to avoid all the food industry tricks, there are steps you can take to make smarter choices. First, always read labels carefully. Checking the ingredients list will help you avoid vague terms like natural flavors or color added, which don't provide specific details about what's in the product. Another key strategy is choosing whole foods whenever possible. Opting for unprocessed or minimally processed items ensures you're consuming fewer artificial additives. Supporting local businesses and farmers is also beneficial. Local producers are often more transparent about their practices, and they may avoid using harmful ingredients that large corporations rely on. Lastly, cooking at home allows you to have full control over what goes into your meals. By using fresh ingredients, you can bypass many of the misleading practices in the food industry and ensure that you're nourishing yourself with healthier options. In conclusion, the food industry relies on consumer trust to make billions of dollars every year. However, these 12 gross facts about the food industry show that we need to be more cautious about what we eat. By staying informed, reading labels, and making smarter food choices, we can protect our health and avoid being misled by false advertising. While the food industry will continue to do what it takes to maximize profit, consumers can take control of what's on their plates by choosing wisely and demanding more transparency. What do you think about these hidden truths? Have you encountered any of these practices in your food? Let me know if you want to discuss or explore these topics further. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and support our channel. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you.